The attack in broad daylight. Subscribe for more real crime stories. Like, share, and join the discussion below. Screams echoed through the college courtyard as students scattered in every direction. Books hit the ground, phones slipped from trembling hands, and the sound of hurried footsteps filled the air. Right there, under the bright noon sun, a tall figure in a dark hoodie charged across the open space, toward a young woman standing frozen beside the fountain. It all happened in seconds. The attacker lunged, and a flash of silver glinted in the light. The crowd gasped. Someone shouted, "Call 911," as chaos erupted. The woman stumbled back, clutching her arm, blood dripping onto the concrete tiles that shimmered under the blazing daylight. Then came the sound, a sharp, echoing cry that cut through everything else. And just as quickly as it began, the attacker vanished into the crowd, leaving behind only fear and confusion. No one saw where he went. No one understood why it happened. Only one question hung in the air like smoke after an explosion. Who would attack someone in broad daylight, right in the middle of campus? 3 hours earlier, everything had seemed perfectly normal. The day had started with laughter, sunshine, and the usual Monday rush. Haley Parker, a second-year journalism student at Riverstone College, walked across the main quad with her best friend, Megan. The two had been chatting about their upcoming midterms and how the cafeteria coffee always tasted like burnt popcorn. Haley had always been curious and observant, traits that made her an excellent writer, but sometimes got her into trouble. "Are you still working on that campus safety article?" Megan asked, sipping from her soda can. Haley nodded. "Yeah, but the security office won't talk to me. They keep saying there's nothing unusual going on, but students have been complaining about weird things happening near the dorms." Weird things, indeed. Over the past 2 weeks, students had reported strange noises, missing bags, and even someone watching them from the shadows late at night. The rumors had spread fast, but no one had any proof. Haley, determined to uncover the truth, decided to investigate on her own. That afternoon, while most students attended lectures, Haley sneaked into the maintenance hallway near the old gym, the one place that wasn't covered by security cameras. The lights flickered, and the air smelled of dust and metal. She opened her phone's voice recorder. "Note," she whispered, checking possible hiding spots behind the bleachers. A noise stopped her mid-sentence, a soft creak from behind the door. Her heart thudded. She turned slowly, the beam of sunlight from a cracked window falling across the corridor. Then footsteps. Heavy. Fast. Getting closer. Before she could react, the door slammed open. A shadow moved toward her, quick and aggressive. Haley gasped, stepping back, her phone slipping from her hand and hitting the ground with a crack. The figure stopped at the end of the hallway, breathing heavily, face hidden under a hood. "Who are you?" she whispered, her voice shaking. Silence. Then a low voice replied, calm but chilling. "You should have stayed out of it, Haley." The hallway lights flickered again, then went completely dark. When the lights went out, Haley's heart froze. She couldn't see a thing, just the echo of her own breathing bouncing off the cold concrete walls. Then, a faint metallic sound cut through the silence, click, 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 like someone tapping a metal object against the wall. She backed away slowly, eyes wide in the darkness. "Please," she whispered, her voice trembling. "I don't even know what you're talking about." The shadow moved closer. For a split second, lightning from the small window flickered, revealing a flash of the attacker's sleeve, a dark college security jacket with a silver badge glinting faintly in the light. Haley gasped. "A campus officer?" But before she could speak again, the sound of approaching footsteps echoed from the other side of the hallway. The shadow bolted toward the exit, disappearing into the brightness of the courtyard. Moments later, a flashlight beam swept across the hall. "Miss, are you okay?" A voice called out. Officer Daniels, one of the college security guards Haley actually trusted. He helped her up, his expression tight with worry. I think one of your officers tried to attack me," she stammered. Daniels frowned. "That's impossible. Everyone on shift was accounted for at the gate." But the fear in Haley's voice made him pause. "Come on," he said quietly. "Let's get you to the security office." Inside the small, dimly lit office, cameras showed students walking through campus, unaware of what had just happened. Haley sat down, trying to calm her shaking hands. On the desk sat stacks of reports, most marked minor theft or lost property. She noticed one labeled unauthorized access, East Wing. "Can I see that?" she asked. Daniels hesitated. "That's restricted." "But you said someone wearing a badge was there." Haley nodded quickly. "I saw it silver, with the Riverstone emblem. I know what I saw." Daniels leaned back, his face shadowed under the flickering light. "Then this goes deeper than I thought." The next morning, word spread fast. Someone attacked a student in broad daylight. But most of the students only whispered about it between classes. No one wanted to believe something like that could happen on their peaceful campus. Haley, however, couldn't stop thinking about that jacket. Why would a college officer be involved in something like this? She went back to her dorm that evening, scrolling through old campus security photos online. Then she froze. There it was. The same silver badge, same uniform. But the man wearing it wasn't listed among the current staff. "Who is he?" she muttered. Suddenly, her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number appeared. "Stop digging, Haley. You're in danger." She looked around the empty dorm hallway, her chest tightening. Then came another message. "You were never supposed to see him." Her hands shook. She tried to call Megan, but before she could press dial, the power flickered again and went out completely. From outside her door came the sound of slow, deliberate footsteps. The footsteps stopped right outside Haley's dorm door. The silence that followed was thick, heavy with fear. She held her breath, clutching her phone like a weapon. Another step, then a soft knock. Tap, tap, tap. "Haley," a low voice said from the other side. "It's Officer Daniels." "Open the door." She hesitated. Something felt wrong. The voice sounded like Daniels, calm, steady, but deeper, slower. She stayed quiet. Then the voice spoke again. "I know you found the photo. We need to talk." Her pulse raced. The photo of the unknown officer. The badge. The messages. None of this felt safe. She crept to the window and peeked outside. Below, she saw two campus security vehicles parked under the orange glow of the streetlights, one of them with the driver's door open. And then she saw him, the real Officer Daniels, stepping out of the car, talking into his radio. Her eyes widened. "That means," she whispered, "the person outside her door wasn't Daniels." Before she could react, the doorknob twisted. Haley darted to the side, grabbed her phone, and texted Daniels quickly. "Someone's pretending to be you. In my room. Help." She turned off the light, crouching behind her desk. The door creaked open slowly. A shadow entered, moving with a strange calmness. Haley could hear each breath, steady and patient, like the person wasn't afraid at all. "I told you to stop digging," the fake Daniel said softly. "You should have listened." But just as he stepped closer, red and blue lights flashed through the window. The real Daniels and two other officers stormed in, shouting for the intruder to freeze. The imposter bolted toward the back window, crashing through the glass and disappearing into the night. Haley sat on the floor, trembling as the chaos unfolded. Daniels knelt beside her. "You're safe now," he said, but his eyes told a different story. He wasn't convinced it was over. Later, in the security office, Daniels pulled up camera footage from earlier that day. The imposter's face was finally visible, an older man, wearing an outdated Riverstone security badge. Daniels looked stunned. "That's Officer Mark Holloway," he said quietly. "He was fired 3 years ago for stealing evidence from the student fund case." Haley frowned. "So, why come after me?" Daniels sighed. "Because you saw what you weren't supposed to see." Holloway wasn't working alone. Someone inside let him back onto campus. Haley's heart sank. "Someone from your team?" Daniels didn't answer. Instead, he looked toward the camera monitors, one of them still playing back the night footage. A faint reflection appeared on the screen, a second uniformed figure handing Holloway a keycard. The figure turned toward the camera just long enough for Haley to see the face. Her mouth went dry. "That's the chief of security." Daniels turned to her, his jaw tightening. This isn't just about an attack anymore, Haley. This goes to the top. The screen flickered. Outside, the morning sun began to rise, casting a golden light through the blinds. But to Haley, it didn't feel like safety. It felt like the beginning of something far bigger. The real question now wasn't who attacked her. It was how many of them were still inside Riverstone College.